Have you ever looked at someone else's life and thought, why is their life better than mine? Maybe you've scrolled through social media, seeing people traveling, smiling, succeeding, while you feel stuck in the same place. Maybe you've compared yourself to a friend, a sibling, or even a stranger, thinking they are ahead and you are behind. But let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly focused on your own journey? Most of us spend too much time watching others, comparing, feeling jealous, or even feeling bad about ourselves. But the truth is, when you focus on others, you lose sight of yourself. And that is the biggest mistake you can make. Buddhism teaches us something very simple but powerful. Your only competition is yourself. The Buddha once said, "Do not look at others' faults. Do not judge what others do or do not do. Observe what you yourself have done and have not done." This means that happiness, peace, and success come when you focus on your own growth, not when you waste time worrying about what others are doing. Think about it. What happens when you compare yourself to someone else? You feel either better or worse, but never truly happy. If you feel better, it means your happiness depends on someone else being behind you. If you feel worse, it means you are letting someone else's life control your emotions. Either way, you're not free. But when you focus on yourself, your own progress, your own mind, your own goals, that is when you find real peace. Imagine two people planting seeds in a garden. One person focuses only on their own seeds, watering them, giving them sunlight, pulling out weeds. The other person keeps looking at their neighbor's garden, thinking, why is their plant growing faster? Why does their soil look better? But because they are so busy watching the other garden, they forget to water their own. In the end, the first person's garden flourishes. The second person's garden dies. This is life. The moment you stop focusing on yourself and start focusing on others, you stop growing. Buddhism teaches that suffering comes from attachment. And one of the biggest attachments is the need for approval, the need to compare, the need to prove yourself to others. But let's ask a deeper question. Why do we compare? Why do we care so much about what others are doing? Most of the time, it is because we are afraid of failing, afraid of being left behind, afraid of not being good enough. But what if I told you that your journey is yours alone, that no one else is walking the same path as you? Would you still compare yourself to them? There is a Buddhist story about a man who was obsessed with how others saw him. He was always worried about whether people thought he was successful, whether they admired him. One day, he went to a wise monk and asked, "How can I stop caring about what others think?" The monk smiled and took him to a river. He pointed at the flowing water and said, "Do you see how the river moves forward? It does not stop to see if the trees on the side are growing faster. It does not compare itself to other rivers. It simply flows because that is its nature." The man understood. The river does not care if someone is watching. It does not stop to compare. It just flows. And so should we. When you wake up in the morning, what is the first thing you do? Do you check your phone to see what others are doing? Do you look at social media, at messages, at notifications? Or do you take a deep breath and focus on your own day? If you want to change your life, start with this. Compare yourself only to who you were yesterday. Limit your time looking at others' lives. Set personal goals that have nothing to do with anyone else. Practice mindfulness. Focus on the present moment. Remind yourself that everyone's path is different. The moment you stop worrying about others and start focusing on yourself, everything changes. You become more peaceful. You feel lighter. You grow faster. And most importantly, you become free. So ask yourself today, are you watching others live their life? Or are you truly living your own? Make the choice now. Start focusing on your journey. Start planting your seeds. Start flowing like the river without worrying about what anyone else is doing. And if you need more guidance, more motivation, and more wisdom to help you stay on this path, subscribe to my channel. Because together, we will grow, not by looking at others, but by focusing on becoming the best version of ourselves. Are you ready? Then let's begin.